Here are some examples of different types of chemical reactions. Um, let's use some clues to identify these reactions. So let's practice. First example is reaction of sodium with oxygen, and it forms sodium oxide. What type of chemical reaction is this? This is an example of combustion reaction. And why is that? The hint to recognize combustion reaction is one of the reactant is always oxygen, because combustion takes place in presence of oxygen. So you'll see on the reactant side, one of the reactant is oxygen. So that makes it a combustion reaction. Next one, decomposition reaction. You see water breaking down compound. Water is a compound. It breaks down into hydrogen and oxygen. So remember, decomposition means breaking. It involves breaking of the compound into its simpler form. Third reaction is antimony sulfide reacts with hydrochloric acid, forming antimony chloride and hydrogen sulfide. So here exchange of ions are taking place. That's an indication of a double replacement reaction. How? You can see here antimony combines with chlorine. So antimony combines with chlorine, forming antimony chloride, whereas hydrogen combines with sulfide. So in simple words, I can say that both these compounds exchange their parts with each other, right? And forming new compounds on the product side. So there are two ionic compounds exchanging their ions in double replacement reaction. The next one is again an example of a combustion reaction. You see the presence of oxygen on the reactant side, and again we need oxygen for combustion. That's an example. That's a hint to recognize combustion reaction. This is a hydrocarbon reacting with oxygen, forming water and carbon dioxide gas. Looking at the next example now, single replacement. Now, how is this one an example for single replacement? Here, chlorine reacts with potassium bromide, forming bromine and potassium chloride. Now, don't forget about the activity series of metals. So that will help you understand which element will be replaced by which one. So here, chlorine is more reactive than bromine. So this chlorine is going to kick out bromine from here. It's going to replace and will combine with potassium to form potassium chloride. So it's like how a strong and weak person fights, strong person wins. Is the same thing here. Chlorine being more reactive, it's going to kick out this weaker, the less reactive bromine, and hence chlorine combines with potassium, forming potassium chloride, and bromine is being replaced. Moving on to the next example. Now this one is an example of combination reaction. Here there are two elements, hydrogen and chlorine, combined together to form a compound, hydrochloric acid. So this is an example of combination reaction.